Hi, friends. Welcome back to another week of Sunday School here at Lord of Life Lutheran Church. This week, we're going to continue our series all about Noah and the flood. If you would like to read the story about Noah in the Bible with your parents, check out Genesis chapter 6 through 9. If you happen to have a Spark Bible at home, have your parents read pages 20 through 25 with you. Last week, you watched a fact-filled game show called What Do You, Noah? That Ada was so smart, but I sure hope that Patrick took some notes. So, what do we know about Noah's story? We know that God gave Noah a pretty big job. God was disappointed with his creation, so he decided to flood the earth and start all over. Noah was a good man, and he was favored in God's eyes because he listened to God at a time where everyone else on earth was not. That's why God chose him to carry out something that seemed so impossible. He knew that Noah would listen and follow his instructions. Remember, when you are listening and following directions and following Christ, God will always have your back. So this week, let's listen to Noah tell us about his experience. For this, I have something really special for you. My cousin Misty was able to get an exclusive Zoom meeting with Noah himself. So let's listen in and see what she learned. Hi, I'm Misty Sprinkles, and tonight I've gotten this once-in-a-lifetime chance to have a live Zoom meeting with Noah, the Noah. Hi, Noah, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing great.
I heard it's your birthday. Happy birthday.
Oh, well, thank you, Misty.
You certainly don't look hundreds and hundreds of years old.
Oh,
So Noah, you've led this amazingly cool life. But before we get to the ark thing, let's talk about what happened before God flooded the earth. What was it like?
well, everyone had forgotten about God. There was so much crime and chaos and really bad things happening. It was just horrible.
Sounds scary, but you and your family remained true to God.
We did, and we did our best to honor and obey him.
That must have been really hard when everyone else was acting crazy. Then to have God ask you to build an ark, what was it like when God spoke to you?
Well, the fact that God talked to little old me was awesomely scary. But I knew I had to follow his directions and obey his laws.
And your feelings on God choosing you and your family to be spared?
Oh, thankful, thankful.
I can only imagine what that was like. Did the people make fun of you?
Well, it was a bit strange, to be honest. A little frustrating, a little exhausting. I mean, me building this monstrosity of an ark, and then they thought I was mad, and I mean, totally mad. But once we were all on the ark, who was crazy then?
That must have been some cabin fever and super crowded though. Two of each kind of animal? How did they all fit?
Well, God's instructions were perfect, and he knew exactly the size and weight of every animal. It fit like a glove.
Okay, I must ask, what was your least favorite animal?
Oh, come on now. All of God's creatures are special.
Oh, Noah, we know there was one. What was it?
Okay, it was the woodpecker. The woodpecker, he's going
All right. A favorite?
the monkeys, easily the monkeys.
Of course. So most of the animals were okay, right?
Yeah, well, most of the animals were very tame and almost hibernating. I think he had something to do with that.
I'm sure he did. Were you scared being on the ark for so long? I mean, you were 600 years old. It's not like you were a spring chicken.
Well, well, no, I wasn't. And listen, we were on the boat for about 7 days before the rain started. And then it lasted about 40 days in a storm, back and forth. 40 days, 40 nights. And then And then another 150 days of just floating on water with no land in sight.
That had to make you a bit stir crazy.
Well, we took turns telling stories, making up songs, inventing games. I even took the time to write what happened before the flood so people would kind of know what would happen if they did not follow God's ways.
So you're all alone and you're the only people left on earth.
All we could do was just keep trusting that God was in complete control.
Absolutely. On a lighter note, did you try to find some land? I know I would have.
I bet you would have. I actually threw some birds overboard and I said, fly, find some land, don't come back. They came back. But it was 1 year before we ever saw land. 1 whole year. That was when the ark rested on top of a big mountain. But we still had to wait until God told us it was safe to leave the ark, though, of course.
Wow, you and your family must be so patient. So what did you learn from all of this?
To trust in God. He will protect us. He will protect you. He will provide for us. He will provide for you. And he has a plan.
So you don't have any fears about going through something like this again?
No, actually, not at all. He sent us a promise.
Noah, what promise was that?
The rainbow. Each time any of us see a rainbow in the sky, that's God's promise that he would never flood the earth again.
Wow, Noah, what an amazing story. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you for having me.
I'm Misty Sprinkles saying good night and God bless. Thanks, Misty and Noah. That was an awesome interview.
Yeah, like, how did Noah build that ark with God's help? It was like amazing.
I know he did an awesome job, huh?
Yeah.
God made sure that Noah and his family had everything they needed on the ark. And then he helped Noah's family fill the earth with all kinds of people. Can you believe that we're some of those people?
That's crazy.
We are God's new creation.
Oh my gosh.
I do have to say that I especially love the part about the rainbow. God was so proud of Noah for following his plan. He put the first rainbow of all time in the sky. And then he said to Noah, "Never again will I send a flood to destroy the earth."
Rainbows are so beautiful. I just can't believe that they were made that way.
I know, it's so cool. Do you know how rainbows are made?
Yeah, they're made when rain hits light.
That's right. So God was telling us something, right? When he put the rainbow in the sky, he was telling us that even when we mess up or our lives are stormy and yucky, if we look to him, it will all be okay. God always has a plan for us. His plan is the best plan. When you see a rainbow, remind yourself of God's promise. So, I also have a challenge for you this week. See how well you can listen to your parents just like Noah listened to God. Sophia, can you say a prayer for us?
Of course I can.
Okay.
Dear God,
Dear God,
thank you for red things,
thank you for red things,
yellow things,
yellow things,
orange things,
orange things,
green things,
green things,
blue things,
blue things,
purple things,
purple things,
and for your new creations.
and for your new creations.
Amen.
Amen. So, can you also tell us a little bit about next week's lesson?
Of course I can. And it is crazy.
It's crazy?
Mhm.
Why is that?
You'll see. We are going to do science experiments that you can do at home, like growing soap in a microwave. All the experience will help us learn more about Noah's and the flood.
You're gonna grow soap in my microwave? Oh
Yep,
no.
Make sure it explodes everywhere.
Oh no. Anyway, remember to watch us. We look forward to seeing you next week. Have a blessed day.